Okay, earlier in the day I thought that I was on camera mixing my mixes for this lesson, Module C, Lesson 3, and I mixed 3 of my colors, but I was not on camera. So I'm going to just kind of go through these with you, and then we'll mix the rest. So for this is our dark blue color, and it's oh goodness, thumb in the paint. Gosh. It is a mixture of Prussian blue, which is phthalo blue and black, ultramarine blue, raw sienna, and our toner of burnt umber. And it turns out to be a very, very dark color, and it actually is the darker color around the edge of this scraped mess here. It looks pretty much like a black. We know that there's a lot of colors in it, but it turns out to look a lot like a black, and when I put white with it, it turns sort of a gray, maybe a bluish gray, but mostly gray. So it's a very muted, very low intensity blue color. So then the next color mixed is this mix plus aquamarine. And aquamarine is this very bright turquoise color. But when mixed with this color and our toner of burnt umber, this is what we end up with. And it is a very toned color, and I mixed it over top of the darker color, and as you can see, they do have properties that are alike, but this one of course is much lighter because of the aquamarine is lighter, and it has a green in it, and it also has phthalo blue in it, as well as white. So that's where we get our lighter blue. So then my next mix, because going down your list of mixes, the ones with asterisks say not to mix them until we're ready to use them, so I skipped mixing light blue and I skipped mixing dark red. So then I went to medium red, and that is naphthol red light and our toner of burnt umber. Whoops, that's naphthol red. Here we go, naphthol red light. So it starts out as a very bright red, and when our toner is mixed with it, we get this very dark toned red. Now look at these two together. They both have the common burnt umber toner in it. That's the mother color. And they both have the same intensity, so they look very well, very good next to each other. If I tried to use this red with this blue, this would be shocking and distracting. If I tried to use this aquamarine with this red, then the blue would be too distracting and shocking. So what we've done is we've muted them with the common toner of burnt umber, and they go together real well. So now I'm going to continue to mix. The next thing we're going to mix is our medium orange, and that is vermilion and burnt umber, and it is 2 parts of vermilion. This is an expensive pigment, but it's a beautiful pigment. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to bring over an equal amount of the burnt umber, because our mix is 2 to 1. Okay, and we'll mix it together, and we go from a very beautiful bright orange to a very muted, beautiful orange brown. Okay, see that? It's still orange, but it's a nice fall leaf color, isn't it? I want to dare say though that I'd like a little bit more vermilion in it. I may have put a little too much burnt umber, so I'm going to just put another glob of that in there and just brighten this back up just a tad. Now that's personal preference. You may have liked it, you know, darker first better. Okay, so that's what we got. And I'm going to bring it over here and put it on my wet palette to save it for when I get ready to start painting. Okay, I'm going to wipe off my palette knife. And then the next one in our list, it says medium orange, and it says to use, it says light orange, and it says to use our medium orange color, which I will. Take some of it and add vermilion in a ratio of 1:1. So now we'll mix it, and we still have a muted orange, but it's a much brighter, lighter orange. Okay, I'm going to add that to our palette. I know that my palette is not as organized as Gabby's, or maybe yours is, but I do try to keep the color values together. Alright, now the next is a dark olive. So that's going to be a pine green, 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Mixed with carbon black, 2 parts. And our burnt umber, 1 part. Okay, let's mix that. As you can tell by now, we are using a very low intensity palette, a very muted palette. It doesn't have a lot of contrast to it. That's a very beautiful olive green. I need to remember that mix. Really, really like that. Okay, got a little bigger pile, so I'm going to use my bigger palette knife to transfer this. Put it over here.